Switzerland at the end of winter feels like a country in quiet transition. Moody skies, misty lakes, and that in-between season where snow is melting, but spring hasn't fully arrived. And honestly, that's what makes it beautiful in its own way. This video is stop number 3 on my Swiss adventure, Interlaken, and more specifically, the lakeside village of Iseltwald. It's often called one of the most beautiful villages in Switzerland, peaceful, postcard perfect, and tucked away at the edge of Lake Brienz. But I wanted to find out for myself, is it really worth the hype? So I set off on a day trip from Interlaken to explore this hidden gem and hike through the surrounding landscapes, mist, mountains and all. After arriving in Interlaken, I was met with something rarer for March in Switzerland, sunshine. The clouds had lifted just enough to reveal the snow-dusted Alps in the distance, and I knew I had to make the most of it. So I jumped on a local bus from Interlaken Ost to Iseltwald, a small village perched on the shores of Lake Brienz. And honestly, the journey itself was already worth it. Lake views, mountain backdrops, and that peaceful, slow-paced Swiss rhythm that I was starting to fall in love with. As soon as I stepped off the bus in Iseltwald, I could tell I was in a special place. Nestled between dramatic cliffs and still, turquoise waters, this village felt like it had been pulled from a painting. And since it's shoulder season, it was almost quiet, just a few other visitors here and there, which made it all the more magical. A short walk from the bus stop led me straight to the lakefront promenade. Within minutes, I was standing in front of that famous viewpoint, wooden benches, still waters and mountains reflecting on the glassy lake's surface. I stood there for a while, just taking it in. From there I wandered through the village itself. Iseltwald is small, you can explore it in under an hour, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for it in charm. Traditional Swiss chalets, flower-filled balconies, even this early in the season, and winding alleyways that open up to lake views. One of the most iconic sites here is the Seeburg Castle, a castle-like villa right on the edge of the lake. It's privately owned, so you can't go inside, but you can admire it from the shoreline, and trust me, it's worth the walk. It's especially beautiful from the pier, where many drone shots are taken. If you're wondering where those viral photos come from, this is it.
We're in Interlaken, and even though it's a bit cloudy and a bit overcast, still going to see if there's some epic things to do and experience here in the end of March. I'm going to do a short hike right now, and yeah, let's get to it.
After soaking up the stillness of the village, I was ready to stretch my legs. With limited time and snow still lingering on higher trails, I picked a manageable yet scenic route, a lakeside hike from Iseltwald to Giessbach and back. It's about 11.5 kilometer round trip, and it took me roughly 2.5 hours, but I stopped a lot for photos, for views, and just to breathe it all in.
Doing a bit of walk here in Interlaken. Really enjoying it, some fresh air, not too cold. A bit overcast, but views are still stunning. I think the only complaint I have right now is I haven't had my cup of coffee yet. So hopefully on the way I'll run the lake somewhere I can pick up a nice Swiss coffee. With some hot chocolate, who knows? Depends how hard the hike is, right? Let's see what Switzerland has to offer.
The trail hugs the edge of Lake Brienz for most of the way, weaving through quiet forests, wooden bridges, and open viewpoints where the lake seems to glow in surreal blue-green. It's a relatively easy route, mostly flat, with a few rolling hills and incredibly peaceful this time of year. I passed maybe 5 people the entire hike. Sometimes when you travel, it's the quieter places that leave the biggest impression. Iseltwald wasn't crowded, flashy, or packed with attractions, but that's exactly what made it so special. In the stillness of shoulder season, with a soft light and late winter and barely a breeze on the lake, it felt like I'd stepped into a moment that most people miss. The views were breathtaking, the village felt like a real-life fairy tale, and the hike to Giessbach offered just enough adventure to balance out the calm. There's something about walking along a lakeside trail with no one around that makes you slow down and really feel where you are. If you're planning a trip to Switzerland, don't overlook this little gem. Whether you're visiting in summer or sneaking in during March like I did, Iseltwald had a peaceful magic that's hard to put into words. Thanks for coming along with me on this part of the journey. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world if you could give it a like, a comment, and subscribe. Especially if you've been to Iseltwald or want to go someday. I read every message, and your support really helps keep these adventures going. Next up, more of Interlaken and the surrounding region, where the mountains start to get really dramatic. Until next time, thanks for watching and keep exploring.